All right, guys. Today we're gonna be reacting to German bread recipe. The European Union politics explained by baking a heavyweight bread from Germany. Even the bread has to do with politics. Isn't that crazy? Even a piece of bread has to do a lot with politics. For those new subscribers, thank you so much for the support, guys. You have no idea how much you guys are supporting the channel. I really appreciate that with the bottom of my heart. We heading to the 4,000 subscribers, folks. We heading there. Meantime, guys, let's jump in and see what's going on.
Today we're looking at the heavyweight amongst Europe's breads, the German Graubrot. It's a 2.5 kilo loaf packed with nutritious whole grains, a family staple that also tells us a great deal about the German soul. I'm Georg Mattes and I'm a European correspondent, but I also love to bake. So here's some food for thought from Germany. This recipe starts with something we Germans love to do: recycling. If you want to bake the German Graubrot, meaning literally grey bread, take 60 grams of...
You know what's crazy? I thought about this. It's true. Recycling is very German. Folks, the gravy. You guys are always recycling the gravy. Every time that not every time, but I will say 80% of the time, when you guys are cooking a meat, the gravy has to be saved. So I'm not surprised.
Old stale bread, grind it in a meat mincer and soak it in 150 milliliters of water overnight.
Und deshalb wird es wohl eine Weile dauern, das sehe ich voraus. Herzlichen Dank.
Meanwhile, prepare your
was that?
sourdough. Mix 20 grams of sourdough starter and 130 milliliters of water with 80 grams of rye flour and leave it to stand, covering it with a tea towel. And now for something very close to German people's hearts. Das Auto. No, not the car. Autolyse is what I'm talking about. It's a technique whereby you gently mix 780 grams of brown bread flour with 500 milliliters of water, then leave it all to rest. It saves you kneading time. And let me tell you, Germans love to save. The Graubrot is the heavyweight amongst Europe's loaves. Germany is not only the richest member state in the EU, it's also the one that has the biggest population. And this bread is just as rich. It contains 3 separate doughs: 390 grams of rye flour, 60 milliliters of water, 15 grams of fresh yeast, 20 grams of honey, and 15 grams of butter. Oh, not to forget, 25 grams of salt. And no less. Mess with German tradition at your peril. A lesson learned by Brussels.
The Commission is not prohibiting any bread
Oh, I see what he's doing. I see what he's doing. Okay. Okay, I got you.
and has no intention to regulate the salt level in bread, neither in Germany nor elsewhere in the EU.
Damn.
But one thing
For
you
real?
can regulate is your blood pressure. Not with less salt, but more exercise. You have to knead the dough now for a good 15 to 20 minutes.
Das dauert eine Weile. Gut Ding will Weile haben.
Then let it prove and use the time to ponder the quiet rise of my compatriot, Ursula von der Leyen, to the EU's top job.
All of us in this room live in a Europe that has grown up, matured, and grown strong.
Right from the start, von der Leyen put her stamp on the EU institutions, and just as well. If you press this German bread stamp into the dough too late, it will collapse.
Oh.
So to stay in control in politics, as in baking, you need razor-sharp instincts. And when it comes to dealing with crises in the EU, no one has more experience than Angela Merkel, the German Chancellor. So let's carve in her signature gesture, the triangle of power.
Well, that's some Illuminati thing, right? No, she's just playing for the cameras because this means dominance. She's dominating, right? Dominance. She's just doing the body language of dominance. That's what she's doing. But I wouldn't be surprised there's some Illuminati thing going on. I'm just saying, folks. Don't get too
Now
triggered.
place the bread in the
Don't
oven
get triggered.
at 210 degrees Celsius for about an hour.
Oh.
Ja, das war es im Grunde, was wir die vielen Stunden betrieben haben.
If you have any leftovers, don't worry. All you need is a meat mincer, and a fresh German Graubrot is on its way. Thanks for watching, and if you're hungry for more bread recipes, click here.
Wow, that was very good. I'm not gonna lie, that was nice. That was very good. That was very good. That was very good. Angela Merkel. That's when this was taken? 4 years ago. Her triangle of power. I think, maybe a little. And no added sugar. German bread is absolutely best. That's what I'm saying. They don't add sugar to their bread. And when I say that, they don't believe me yet. In America, a lot of bread here is very sugary. So it has a lot of sugar. That's why it's very fluffy. Can you please post everything okay? Let me see if I can find another one. The politics part was epic. I have my grandma's cookbook. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be. I'll be completely straightforward with y'all. For all those non-German, this clip is humorous and funny. It's alright. It's not like, bro, that's a good joke. It's not like that, bro. And by the way, he's speaking English, so we can understand. However, question for the panel here. Why the bread is so heavy? What's the purpose of making that kind of bread so heavy? Isn't the purpose of bread is to make it nice and light, where you can eat, you're still eating carbohydrate, but you're not feeling that guilt of it. That was a nice recipe. Even the fact that he's adding honey to it, it just, I think, gives a little bit that color at the outside, like very, very crystal color. So that was very interesting. Also the salt amount was okay. Question, they were trying really hard. Were they trying to regulate the salt for the bread? Is that a joke? Is that a joke? Like the regulation for the salt is what? I hope this right here.
A lesson learned by Brussels.
The Commission is not prohibiting any bread and has no intention to regulate the salt level in bread.
That's great. Even that's a talking point. That's insane, man. I would love to hear you guys' opinion on this. That'll be an eye-opening. If that was the case, that they were trying to even regulate salt on bread. That's insane. In bread, I would say. Let me know what you guys see in the comment section below. See you in the next one.